Coming to you live from Terry Connors Ice House on the Cove in Stamford, Connecticut. It's the number 4 seed versus the number 5 seeded Darien Blue Wave and the Ridgefield Tigers here in the CIAC Division I quarterfinals. Hi everyone, Liam Tomaszewski joined alongside broadcasting partner Will Jennings. And Will, today we have a huge matchup between the Blue Wave and the Tigers. Both these teams saw each other last in that FCIAC semifinal matchup. That one easily went into the hands of the Tigers. They defeated the Wave by a whopping 4-goal deficit, so they're going to look for some revenge here over on the Cove.
Yeah, Darien in that game, they missed a ton of assignments in the defensive zone. We saw 2 shots go in from the blue line. There were 2 screen goals in front. Darien didn't really handle that slot area in that game. They should have been pushing the forwards away from the front of the net, and that cost them a ton of goals. So look for Darien to tighten up their defensive zone today. And then also, we talked about it last game, Jack Mariska was out that game, and that's a huge, impact player for the Wave. If he can be on the ice today healthy, it's going to, really turn the tides for this team.
Yeah, Blue Wave definitely missed the sophomore standout of Jack Mariska. He's been a spark plug for the Wave all season. He was out that game, and the offensive production just was not there from Darien. But as for Ridgefield, they're coming off fresh off an FCIAC championship. They lost, however, to the Rams in that game over at Danbury Ice Arena. That was only a 1-goal deficit in overtime, so Ridgefield definitely held their own against the number 1 team in the state of the New Canaan Rams right now. But again, both these teams are looking outwards and ins in this tournament. But we'll start with Ridgefield, of course. Can't talk about Ridgefield without mentioning Luke Pereira, Ryan Carnicelli. Just walk me through 2 of those players, Will.
Yeah, so Luke Pereira and Ryan Carnicelli, they're the first line for this Ridgefield Tigers. They're line mates with Anthony Rena, number 15. And, we watched that game last time. Luke Pereira had a hat trick. He ended it with the empty netter, the dagger. That line just works really well together. You see them cycle in the offensive zone. They can play in transition. They can slow up and, work the defenseman at the point. And really that line was the key for Ridgefield that game and kind of solidified the ending there.
Yeah, indeed it is. Again, that was a huge upset. Of course, Blue Wave went down in that FCIAC semifinal. They were looking to make it back to the FCIAC championship for consecutive years, but Ridgefield took that spot and played a huge battle against the Rams. I mean, I was up there in Danbury. It was a great matchup to watch, but again, now it's state tournament, fresh on everyone's minds. Darien, of course, they're starting off fresh right here. They had the first round bye, as did Ridgefield as well. Both these teams, winner of this game will play the winner of the New Canaan and Greenwich game just shortly after the conclusion of this one here at Terry Connors. But Will, we get ready for puck drop here. What are some keys of the game for both these teams?
Yeah, if you're the Wave, you got to watch number 3, Luke Pereira. He's going to hang around that far blue line. They call that cherry picking in hockey, and we saw 2 goals from him last game that were off breakaways, off transition plays, where he just, he caught the defenseman lacking. He was behind the defenseman. Nobody saw him, and he had 2 easy breakaway goals. So for the Wave, you got to watch him. They're going to, throw a jailbreak pass to him. And then, for the Tigers, it's just doing what they did last game, which is getting that puck deep, working their defensemen at the point, getting those defensemen touches, and, seeing if the Wave, maybe they'll play that slot area better today. But, the last game, the Tigers, they got a bunch of great shots from the point.
Yeah, indeed it is. Of course, this Blue Wave first line is going to look to do some damage in this one. Of course, 2 sophomores on the Blue Wave first line. Jack Mariska, James Troy join alongside junior standout center Aiden Elders. That'll be anchoring Darien's first line. Of course, on the defense, number 2 George Persinger and Reisel Tarrant will be on for the Wave. And, of course, starting in net for the game today, number 30 Quinn Kreppen. So he'll be making a start. Of course, Hegarty was in the game the last game against Ridgefield, which Darien lost, so making the goalie change. Let's see if that'll add to Darien's fare. And starting lineups and national anthem coming up in here from the Terry Connors Ice Rink, bringing you down to the ice. Hear those.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Stamford's most famous arena, Terry Connors, for tonight's CIAC Division I quarterfinal game between the visiting team Ridgefield, ranked number 5 with an overall record of 13-17.
national anthem and starting lineups for both these teams. And of course, Darien will making the goalie change today. Got number 30, Quinn Kreppen going in net. Last time these two teams faced off, Hegarty was in the net, so let's see if Darien making the goalie change can go in their favor.
Yeah, they also switched up that first line. I mean, they played that first line last time. It was Elliot Lancaster, Mark McNamara, and Charlie Schwinn, but, you know, Coach Bud, right before the game, switching it to them, and, you know, they actually had a pretty good game last time these two teams played each other. Mark McNamara had a goal off the give and go from the corner, and, you know, they looked pretty good. So, you know, hopefully that chemistry keeps evolving as they're a pretty new line together, and, you know, hopefully they're able to contribute for the Wave today. Yeah,
the addition of Mark McNamara has definitely done well for the Blue Wave, especially in the latter part of the season. Of course, here, the quarterfinal round of the CIAC Division I tournament here, the Blue Wave and the Tigers, the 4 and 5 seed from Terry Connors Ice Arena. Both these teams looking to get underway. Of course, Darien High School student section here, trying to bring some cheers for both of these teams, for Darien, and see what both these teams can do in this contest on the Saturday afternoon in March. So March hockey coming up here. Puck drop over at center ice. Terry Connors McNamara will take it for the Blue Wave. And number 15, Anthony Rena for the Tigers. So puck drop coming from center ice. McNamara and Rena, and we are underway here in Terry Connors. First face-off won by the Tigers. They're going to move this along over into the Darien zone. Now it's going to be picked up by the Darien D early on. Ridgefield looking for a loose puck. Persinger is going to sail that one all the way, and Schwinn will send that over behind the net of Sproley. So Darien with the puck over in the Ridgefield blue line. Tarrant forced to retreat it, giving it back over to Charlie Schwinn. Tigers will reset over by center ice. Persinger tapping it in for the Wave. Making a quick line change, bringing out Aiden Elders and Jack Mariska. Puck going to go closely. That one's going to swim all the way over the boards. Looked like it might have gone out of bounds for the first stoppage in this contest.
Yeah, that was good pressure from that first line early. We saw Schwinn get that puck deep. Mark Namara, with the size difference, he got a pretty good forecheck and a couple of big hits. So good momentum here for the Wave early.
So another face-off coming up in Darien's offensive territory. That one's going to be won by Aiden Elders. Mariska with the shot and the quick glove save by Sproley. Right off the bat, Andrew Sproley had a fantastic night in that game against Darien just a week and a half ago. He makes an easy glove save there early on. Another face-off won by the Blue Wave. Troy looking to do some damage behind the net, but Darien looking for that loose puck. Back out over through the middle, Mariska. Looking to give that over to Elders. Troy misses that puck a little bit, so Ridgefield's going to look for it. Mariska goes down to the ground. No call over in front of the Ridgefield goalie.
Good hit by James Troy in the corner there, getting back for his friend Mariska.
So Kilroy will give that one over to Elders. Back out over the likes of Connor McNamara, as well as Connor Kilroy. Kilroy will send that over through the boards. Aiden Chang for Ridgefield over behind the net. A huge hit over by Ryan Thurlow out in front. Has a loose puck, trying to put a backhand on it. That one just missing the net.
Really good physicality from the Wave early. They've outnumbered this team in hits so far.
Niffin with the shot, stopped up by Sproley out in front. And just like that, a lot of physicality by the Blue Wave, asserting their dominance early on and getting some nice shots onto Andrew Sproley.
Yeah, last game, Liam, we saw these two teams play. It looked like Ridgefield had the Wave in physicality. They had them outnumbered, but the Wave coming out here very fast. Really good forecheck and a lot of big hits.
So a big hit there by Mark McNamara over behind the net of Sproley. Still trying to chase this one down are the Tigers, looking to try to get a first look on the offense. Puck now back over to Elliot Lancaster. Hit over behind the net. He goes down to the ice, no call. Retribution hit there by McNamara. Slap shot out in front, looking for the open net. McNamara, that one just misses. There's a shot there from the point by John Wadley. Back out again, Niffin with the shot, stopped up by the Tigers.
Really good shot from Wadley. He kept it low on the ice for the tip, and the Wave almost had an open rebound.
So now Ridgefield's looking for their first offensive look. Back out over the point, ground shot. That one just misses the net of Kreppen. Schwinn will retreat it behind his own net. Back out over to Sean Rigby. Tigers going to be forced to get this one back out in front. That one's going to Troy. Now Charlie Schwinn will start it up for the Wave. Over the center ice, will dump that in. The Blue Wave make a line change. Back out of the front. Aiden Elders keeping it alive for the Wave. Ridgefield now alone over in the back with Rigby. Persinger doing a nice job on the defense. Moving this one along back over to Jack Mariska. Troy with it, sends it over to Mariska over by the center ice red line. Gets hit up over by the Ridgefield bench. Blue Wave still out in front. Persinger with a little tap. That one going to be going off of James Troy. Back out in front, Darien looking for another shot. Ridgefield holding off a little bit more on the defense. Back out in front, trying to get a one-timer on it was Gavin Samame, but he goes down to the ice by the Tigers' D. Now Ridgefield's going to try to look for some offensive possession. Back out over to the Tigers. Tarrant looking for that loose puck. Aided over by Gardner Ely. Ely with it over on the far side. Scrum. Ridgefield looking for the puck, but Darien will get that one. The Persinger will chase it over behind and send that one through the middle. Back over to Ely. Ridgefield gets a shot, just missing the net of Kreppen. That one a slow shot. Mariska's going to send that one all the way for an icing.
You know, other than that icing right there, I really like how the Wave has, gotten that puck deep, gotten a couple of guys on it, and then at the point, they've done a great job of, holding the blue line, getting shots on net. They're finally getting those defensemen involved. I really think these first couple of minutes have been dominant for the Wave.
So another face-off in Darien's defensive zone. That one's going to be won by the Tigers. They'll have it at Darien blue line. Schwinn using his body on that one. Darien looking for that loose puck out in front. Ridgefield not giving them too much ground as Kilroy will bring some of the Ridgefield offensemen down to the ground.
Yeah, that's a trip on Connor Kilroy. He lost his footing there. He got, caught flat-footed, and he had to reach out his stick to try and poke that puck away.
So Connor Kilroy will go to the penalty box. First penalty in this game so far. Ridgefield's going to be going on the power play. And that was one of those things in that FCIAC championship game. There were 2 penalties from the Rams in that first and second period. Ridgefield scored on both of them. So for Darien, they're going to want to limit the power plays because Ridgefield clearly has a lot of good plays in their playbook when it comes to power play hockey.
Yeah, in the game we watched, the 6-2 FCIAC semifinal we watched, Ridgefield probably had 10 power play opportunities, and the Wave just gave them too many of those power plays, and they ended up scoring about 3 or 4 goals on those power plays.
So a high puck out in front. Ridgefield looking to try to put it down. Elders doing a nice job, and then referees will blow the whistle, stop up that play. And it looks like we're going to be getting a face-off all the way over on the far side.
Yeah, looks like it was maybe tipped by a high stick there, but, we know the Wave has the capabilities to, waste time with their speed, maybe chip this puck, get a couple icings, but they can definitely take up a lot of time with just wheeling around the neutral zone and offensive zone.
Face-off one there by Ridgefield. They're going to have to go coast to coast for this power play, but Troy just trying to dump it in for the Wave. Back out over the center ice. Darien defense, Tarrant with the hit over on the far side. That puck going behind the net of Quinn Kreppen. Still trying to chase it down, Anthony Rena. Back out over. Elders now with the puck alone. Dumps that one in. Lancaster going to chase it down for the Wave, but Ridgefield will regain possession on that open puck. Now puck now back over to the Tigers. Luke Pereira in his stick. Back out in front. No shot there by the Tigers. Schwinn now getting the puck for the Wave. Huge hit over on the far side. Rigby now with the puck for Ridgefield. Back out over in front in the Darien territory. Niffen will chase it down. Backhands it over to Schwinn. Schwinn will sail that one all the way as Blue Wave does a nice job on the penalty kill. 45 seconds left to go on Ridgefield's power play.
Yeah, Ridgefield a little sloppy on the breakout. They have yet to get a good, zone entry look here. Darien has had a couple easy clears.
So Persinger will send that one over through the boards. Ridgefield keeping it alive by dumping it in. Back out over the front, Mariska sails that one over into the Darien bench near side. And that one's going to go all the way to the far side, forcing Ridgefield to reset. The Tigers will look to reset. Ridgefield back at it over near their own net. They'll send that through the neutral zone back around near Crepin. No icing will be called. Final seconds left to go on the Tigers' power play.
They're even strength now.
Back to even strength. Kilroy out of the box. Elders comes in for him. Troy looking for it. Now Ridgefield getting it on their own defensive side. Sending that one all the way in. Number 11, Will Britton.
Really good kill for the Wave right there. They didn't let that Ridgefield team get a zone entry. They stopped everything basically in the neutral zone, and they, got a bunch of really good clears because of their hard work.
So quality penalty kill from the men in blue. Back out over here at Terry Connors. 8 minutes exactly left to go in this period number 1. Schwinn with it over through the neutral zone. Stops, makes some nice ice moves. McNamara with the one-timer shot over by the scorer's booth. That one's going to be stopped up out in front. This Darien team definitely playing aggressive. Ridgefield will look to take that puck. Of course, you're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture team Darien Foundation. And the Darien Athletic shot there from Schwind, and that one goes in for the first goal of the game.
Great turnover by Charlie Schwinn there. We've been talking about this Ridgefield breakout all game long. That's another sloppy turnover, and it's right to the stick of number 7, Charlie Schwinn for the Wave. Mark McNamara in front for a screen, and Schwind has an easy look on goal. That's just too easy for the Wave. You're giving the best shooter on the team that look. He's going to bury it.
Schwind had a nice shot right out in front just over a month and a half ago. Charlie Schwind, familiar territory, had the Michigan goal here from Terry Connors and puts up another one to his name through this season. And the Blue Wave striking first, they go up 1-0. But back out in front, Ridgefield. Darien still playing aggressive, now at it with their third line. Weibel going to send that one all the way. Goal there from Charlie Schwind. That one's going to be stopped up for an icing. Schwind's 14th goal of the season. Of course, he's one of the best shooters on this team and just snipes that one right past the net of Andrew Sproley.
Yeah, and what a season it's been for number 7. Feels like every game we've called this year, he's done something special out there on the ice, and that's another great goal for his tally.
The speedy likes of the senior for the Wave and just adds more depth. There's a shot there from Mariska over on the far side. That one's going to be stopped up by Sproley. Just like that, even just halfway through this first period, Darien is playing definitely much more aggressive than they were in that last game against the Tigers. Another face-off won by the Blue Wave. Mariska looking for a shot. That one's going to be stopped up by the D out in front. Puck now back over, back in front. Troy trying to get a backhand shot on it. That one's going to be stopped up by Sproley. Trying to get a second look at it was Aiden Elder. Some contact out in front of the net, but that one's going to be whistled off.
Yeah, the Wave getting a ton of traffic to the front of the net, and that's really what I've noticed this period. Those Ridgefield defensemen, they're having trouble handling guys like Mark McNamara, handling the speedy likes of Jack Mariska around the front of the net. And the Wave are just generating a ton of offense from that area.
So another offensive face-off look for the Blue Wave. That one, once again, won by Darien. Another shot there from the point by Tarrant. That one just misses the net of Sproley. Samame now at the shot off the knee pads of Sproley. Ely keeping it alive for the Wave on their third line. Ridgefield just looking to make a clear, and Darien making it look easy like they're on a power play right now, but still even strength. That one's going to be dumped all the way back out. 6:31 left to go in the first.
And now this, second line of Lancaster, they started this game, but they are the second line listed here. They come back out here, and, they're looking really good early. It's a ton of momentum for this line, and they've really been dominant this first period.
Another offensive look coming up for the Wave over with face-off. That one's going to be won by the Tigers, so they're going to get this one over behind their own net. Forced to reset. Schwinn with the puck, hit over on the far boards. Darien with it once again, sends that one over to the Tigers' side. McNamara now with the puck over to Persinger. Ridgefield with the shot, just missing the net of Kreppen. No need for a save on that one, way out of his grasp. Big hit over on the far side by number 2, George Persinger. Probably one of the best defensemen in the CIAC Division I this season. Puck now back with Schwinn, stopped up there, out in front of the net by the Ridgefield D.
Yeah, trying to use the defenseman as a screen there on the toe drag. He does that basically every game we watch.
So another one back out in front for Ridgefield. Looking to try to get a shot on out in front. That was a shot, almost a pass there. Number 5, Angelo Siminiello. But Ridgefield can't seem to try to poke that one past Quinn Kreppen. So Ridgefield now with the puck. Darien with the early lead. Puck now in the hands of Schwinn. Dumps that one over through the neutral zone. Back over to McNamara. Sends that one. That one's going to go off of number 2, Aiden Sheng. And now puck back out in the Tigers' grasp. Gets Darien on a line change, but Troy with a good heads up.
Darien just looks a lot faster than them right now as they have another transition turnover.
Yeah, Ridgefield hasn't seemed to got too many quality offensive looks this period. Puck now back over to sophomore defenseman Connor Kilroy.
Yeah,
back over to Jack Mariska.
All of Ridgefield's shots coming from the perimeter, as you said. They haven't gotten a slot look yet, and Quinn Kreppen's looked pretty confident in net.
So puck back out over to the Wave. Kilroy's going to chase this one all the way through the neutral zone. Speedy threat dumps this one in behind the net of Sproley. Chang with it for the Tigers. Mariska was looking for it over on the boards. Hit there by John Wadley. Ridgefield now with it over in the neutral zone. Sends one, just no need for save there by Kreppen, though that one's going to go all the way over to the far boards. Ridgefield with it once again. Ely surfacing it. That one's going to go to Dylan Weibel. Weibel back out through the center. Sproley's going to go out of his crease. Darien with the heads up with Gavin Samame. Trying to get it out in front. Looking for a shot. Samame's going to send one. Now puck over to Niffen, who sends one. That one's just going to be stopped up by Sproley out in front. Ridgefield's going to carry this one almost all the way. Number 21 for the Tigers, James Ahern. Puck once again back out in front. Both teams making a line change as that one's going to be sent all the way.
Yeah, I really like how Darien got their defenseman involved there again in that offensive zone, shot right there. They got it to Michael Niffen, and that's something that Darien, they needed to focus on coming into this game, getting those D-man involved from the point, and Michael Niffen almost gets another screen goal there.
And Niffen's had 2 nice shots on the defense for the Blue Wave. Niffen, of course, still looking for his first career varsity goal as a sophomore defenseman. So face-off one there by Darien. Persinger is going to use the boards on that one. All the way out in front off the skate of number 12, Mark McNamara. McNamara now with the puck. Back over to Schwinn on the far boards over by the Ridgefield bench. Trying to get some open room. Sends this one over to Lancaster. Puck back out to Tarrant. Trying to get a shot on that past Sproley, but that one's going to go way out of play.
And we see it again right there. They get it to Russell Tarrant at the point, and there's a ton of space up there. None of those wingers for Ridgefield have gotten up to the points there to block shots yet, so Darien getting a ton of free looks from their defensemen right now.
Yeah, the Darien defensemen, of course, playing huge roles in this game, keeping Ridgefield offense, not getting too many shots from the slot, but, of course, even getting some own offensive shots as well with Wadley and Niffen. Puck now back over to the Tigers. That one's going to go out of play. Just under 3 minutes left to go. This first period player watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Liam Tomaszewski and Will Jennings. So glad to be here live from Terry Connors. It's the 4 seed and the 5 seed in the CIAC Division I quarterfinal matchup between the Wave and the Tigers. Defensive face-off coming up for the Wave. Ridgefield looking to try to get some shots on the Kreppen before the intermission. Back out over the blue line. Ridgefield will win that one. Darien just trying to reel that one all the way in, as that one's going to, again, go out of play.
Yeah, Ridgefield offensively this period, all of their shots have been from that blue line area, from the top of the circles, and none of them really, scoring threats just yet. They haven't gotten traffic to the net, and it's just been a lot of easy saves for Crepin. He's been able to see, basically every shot he's faced thus far.
So another defensive face-off coming up for the Wave. Nice analysis there, Will, for us on the Darien defensive side. That one's going to be sent all the way back for another icing. So face-off one there by Darien. Puck backed out in front. Ridgefield looking for it over in their own offensive zone. Darien with the clear over from Connor McNamara, and Schwind and Mariska, Schwind and Lancaster with it. Gets a shot on it. That one's going to be stopped up, though. However, out in front by the Tigers.
Yeah, Schwind was looking for Lancaster on the backside as Ridgefield has numbers.
Shot there by Ridgefield. That was number 15, Anthony Rena. Back out in front, Ridgefield with it. It was a huge save from Crepin by the shot from Rena. Darien still trying to keep Ridgefield off the scoreboard throughout this first period. Back out in front, the Tigers with it over on the blue line. Sends a shot, stopped up there by Mark McNamara, using his body for that one. McNamara over to Lancaster. Back out over, sails this one all the way. And that one's going to go all the way out of play.
Yeah, we saw that 2-on-1 where Schwind had Lancaster on the backside. It was a great defensive play by Ridgefield. And then they translated that, defensive play into transition hockey of their own and got a couple of good shots on Crepin.
So another face-off coming up over in one of the center ice dots. And it looks like they're just going to move the face-off. So on the other side of the center ice line, they're going to move this face-off all the way. Looking at the Darien defensive, so now they're going to have to go on the defense with this upcoming face-off. Face-off one there by Darien. Niffin with it, sends this one all through the boards. Now one times by Mariska. Puck back over to the Tigers side. Trying to get a shot on it. That one's going to be stopped up by Wadley. Puck now back out in front, taking it himself is Troy. Mariska sends this one all the way to Elders. Getting some contact on that one, looking to try to get a loose puck out in front. That was going to be stopped up again. Looking for it, Niffin. Back out over to Ridgefield, stopped up there by Mariska. Nice transition there by the Blue Wave on defense. Hit there by Mariska. Once again, puck trailing over on the far boards. Ridgefield looking for it, shot there. That one was tipped off one of the Blue Wave defensemen before it even reached the net of Quinn Crepin. Back out in front. Sending this one in the air is Wadley.
Unlike last game, the defensive zone for the Wave has been very good this game as they've blocked a ton of shots and really cleared that front of the net for Crepin. And it's been a great period for this Wave team, especially on the defensive side, which has allowed them to capitalize on the offensive side as well.
Yeah, the Blue Wave have done exceptional on the offense today, putting up one goal against a very strong Ridgefield team that they've had their ups and downs this season, but of course the latter half of this season has been extremely strong. Making it to an FCIAC championship. And now back here in the state quarterfinals, looking to advance the state semifinal berth. Face-off one there by Darien. Looking for it back out over to their center ice line. Ridgefield's going to look for it. Final 30 seconds left to go in the first. Tigers just going to dump this one in. Persinger will chase it down for the Wave. Back out over to the front. Schwinn now with the puck. Uses this one back over to the boards. Ridgefield trying to get a final 10-second shot on, but Darien, all they need is a clear. Scrum over on the far side, Ridgefield with it. Gets a shot on, glove save by Quinn Kreppen as time is just going to expire on the scoreboard. We'll see though, looked like there was maybe a couple seconds after the Kreppen save, but that one's just going to bring us to the first intermission. Big glove save by Kreppen, keeping Ridgefield off the scoreboard. And Will, what are your first thoughts on that first period?
I really liked that period from the Wave. They played great in all three phases of the game. They did great in the neutral zone. They got that goal from Schwind in the offensive zone, but I really liked that defensive zone play from the Wave. I think that was very impressive. They missed a ton of assignments in the last game against Ridgefield, and they had a lot of sloppy goals let up. But this game, they're blocking shots, they're working as a unit in that defensive zone, and it's really translated into a great game plan today.
So Schwind has the lone goal in this contest. We'll be right back after the first intermission on the DAF Media Network.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings.
Man, back here live on the DAF Media Network, 15 minutes gone. 2 periods left to go here from Terry Connors Ice House. And will that first period of play, Darien played unstoppable hockey. They're doing well in the offense. Of course, the goal from the senior Charlie Schwinn, and then Darien on the defense, making some nice shots on the offense as well and really clearing out Ridgefield from any looks on the offense.
Yeah, like you said, in the intermission, this is some of the best wave hockey we've seen in a while. You know, they struggled in that latter half of the season to, you know, play as a team, and today they're connecting on passes. They're playing very sound in the defensive end, and it's leading to a ton of offense.
So another face-off coming up. Of course, both these teams switching their respective sides on the ice. Darien will be moving now from left to right in your screen. Ridgefield from right to left. First face-off won there by the Blue Wave. Starting out in front over by the center ice. Darien's going to chase this one over with Persinger. Back in the neutral zone over to Charlie Schwind. Schwind gets this one backhand dumped all the way. Ridgefield will reset over behind their own net of Sproley. Persinger now with the puck. Back over to the Blue Wave side. Ridgefield over near their own bench dumps this one and gets a quick line change for the Tigers. Big hit over on the far side. Ridgefield now with it over, trying to get some offensive looks. Going to be stopped up out in front.
The Darien defense just not allowing Ridgefield to get to those dangerous areas of the ice. They're keeping them to the outside even at the start of this period.
Puck now back out in front for the Ridgefield side. Still trying to chase it down is Darien, and they're going to move this one along all the way through the center ice. Back over front, McNamara belts this one all the way back. Sproley going out of his crease. Ridgefield will try to get an offensive look going. Haven't seen too many quality shots from the Tigers throughout this game. Darien defense has kept them at bay. Back out near the Darien bench, hit there by Elders. Darien still looking for it. Looks like an offsides will be called out near the Ridgefield blue line.
And Darien this game, you know, kind of a weird anecdote, but they've been feeding off the student section. You know, the student section hasn't really shown up in a lot of their games, and today you just see the energy out there on the ice. They're really feeding off their school's pride today.
Yeah, Darien students came out Saturday afternoon hockey, late season March, and of course this is the one game, this is a huge game for Darien trying to advance in the state playoffs, so nice to see a lot of school pride coming from DHS. Back out over to the near side, Ridgefield. Still looking for it over near, trying to create some energy over in their own offensive looks. Back out over to Darien. Still looking for it over on the near side. Ridgefield will chase this one down over near their own bench. But that one's going to be tipped up. Crepin, no need for a save. And Wadley will regain that puck over near Darien's defense. Ridgefield now with the puck. All alone near the Ridgefield blue line now with it. Number 7, Jack Kirshner. So Kirshner in control of the puck. Back over to Samame. Sends a shot. Stopped up by Sproli. Big forecheck there from Gavin Samame. And Darien's going to chase this one down, so no icing will be called on the whole ice shot there. Huge hit by Niffen. So bounce back off the board off that one, but Schwind sends it over to Lancaster. Couldn't get a shot on it. Backhands it over to Schwind. That one's going to be stopped up out in front by the Tigers. Still going to move this one all the way. McNamara. Puck back over to Michael Niffen.
The Wave doing a great job of back checking. We saw Mark McNamara on the back check there. He saves his defenseman on a loose puck. And also, it's really just been their effort, their compete level today. They've done a great job on the forecheck cycling the puck.
Puck now back over to the Ridgefield side, over near the center ice. Darien D looking for a Ridgefield, trying to get a shot on, stopped up by Crepin. The shot there from number 15, Anthony Rena.
Now Schwind, and it looks like Carnicelli getting into it. Two smaller guys, very scrappy players. Looks like they had some extracurriculars going on there in front of the net. But we saw Anthony Rena. Nobody gapped up with Rena. He was left alone as the trailer. He gets a great shot on net. Crepin, in great position there for the save.
Rena, of course, that Ridgefield first-line center. Done a nice job getting a shot on the Crepin. Try to apply some pressure onto a Darien team that's surging here. So stopped up there by Sproli. Ridgefield now looking for it over in the front. They're going to regain possession with that puck. Back over to Ryan Carnicelli. Sends this one all the way through the back. Persinger still looking for it. Ridgefield's trying to chase this one down. So Ridgefield now with the puck. Rigby with the shot, just going high above the net of Crepin. Loose stick, that one goes into the stands. And that one's going to be loose stick and gotten back out into the ice.
Yeah, that was Luke Pereira there who broke his stick right into the student section. And these, two towns, especially after the Pereira game last game, they don't like each other. We saw Pereira celebrate right in front of the bench, putting up 3. And these two towns, they're not very friendly when it comes to the game of hockey.
So it looks like Jack Mariska will be going to the penalty box. So it looks like Ridgefield's going to be going on the 2-minute power play. 5-on-4 advantage. So Ridgefield will be on the 5-on-4 man up advantage. Just above 11 minutes left to go in this period.
Possibly a bench minor, as we just heard the PA announcement. The student section throwing that stick blade back onto the ice, possibly a bench minor for the Wave. And, they have to put somebody in the box there, so looks like Mariska going to serve this penalty.
So Mariska will serve the 2-minute power play. Well, it's not up on the scoreboard right now, but Darien will be going up. Still down a man for 2 minutes. So Lancaster now with control of the puck. Ridgefield back out in front. Ridgefield's done well in the power play all game. This is their second. Darien saved them on the penalty kill for the first power play. Let's see if they can try to get some of that energy back. Puck now back over to the front, over near the blue line. Rigby looking for a shot, passes that one. Trying to get a shot, and that one goes in. That's number 21 for the Tigers, James Ahern.
I was just about to say, that's James Ahern, and that's a great shot. We saw him in the regular season. He was one of the players that really caught my eye in the regular season. Before this Ridgefield team got all their players back. Number 21, he gets a wide open look on that, top of the circle, winger side, strong side, and he just walks in for the easy snipe right up in the top shelf.
So excuse me, that was number 21, Ryan McNicholas, with the goal for the Tigers, but McNicholas's goal ties this one at 1 apiece, and for Darien, that's something you don't like to see. Ridgefield going on the scoreboard.
I was going to say, I thought it was McNicholas because I remember watching him play this regular season, but, of course, it looks like we got 2 people rostered here. And, regardless of that, that was a great shot and a great power play, opportunity for Ridgefield and really gets them back into this game at a 1-1 deficit.
So, of course, the Ridgefield power play is still strong as they tie this game at 1. Ryan McNicholas, the junior winger, with a goal and still tied at 1. So puck now back over in Darien's territory. Trying to get some fuel after that one. Mariska with the puck stopped up by the Tigers. They're going to look to control this on defense in their own territory. Big kid over on the far side. Ridgefield looking for control of the puck over in the offense. That one's going to be carried over by Russell Tarrant. Tarrant now with it. Back over to Elders off of his skate. Darien defense with a nice job on the heads up. Persinger sails this one all the way to the other end. Darien's going to chase this one down against Schwind out there for the Wave. Big hit over on the far side, no call. Huge hit of Aiden Elders going down the ice.
Just like last game, though, Liam, we saw Darien take way too many penalties, and that's kind of the reason why they lost last game. And here we see Ridgefield capitalize early on the power play.
Still moving along, Pereira gets to try to get a little tap shot on a delayed penalty coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be a hook.
This one's going to be going against Darien, so Ridgefield will get another 2-minute power play. But they're going to look to control the puck. Empty net here for the Tigers, 6-on-5. Gets a shot on. All Darien needs to do is get a possession. Ridgefield still with it. Still a delayed penalty back out to the blue line. That one's going to be intercepted up by Mariska. But again, that one's going to be hooking over with Luke Pereira. Tried to get a shot on it, so number 21, John Wadley's going to go to the penalty box, and Ridgefield with a huge opportunity to get a lead in this one.
Yeah, and just as I started talking about it, Liam, Darien taking way too many sloppy penalties. That's what happened to them last game, and it's happening again here today. We see when these two teams play even strength, Darien completely locks them down in the defensive zone. But whenever Darien gives them a power play look, that's when the trouble arises.
So puck now back over to the Tigers. It's their third power play of the night. Shot there out in front, stopped up by Kreppen. There's a shot there from number 23, Sean Rigby. Puck back over to Niffen. Ridgefield still trying to bring this one back in their own zone. Now over to the Darien blue line. Rigby with a shot back out in front, stopped up by Darien. Lancaster's going to get control of the puck and send this one all the way. Sproley will go out of his crease. Ridgefield will reset. And Ridgefield now with it. Still up on the 5-on-4 advantage. Shot there. Just missed the net of Kreppen. We still have a power play for another minute and 10 seconds. Darien just needs some more quality clears. Back over to Rigby on the defense. Gets a shot. Just missing the net of Kreppen. Darien defense making some nice screens out in front. Back out in front, shot saved by Kreppen with the blocker. Huge stop there as a shot from number 6, Nolan Gartner.
Kreppen really been holding his own on those perimeter shots, with the exception of that McNicholas goal. We're not seeing him get a ton of help from his defensemen or forwards on these penalty kills. He's really been standing on his head, getting in front of a ton of good looks for Ridgefield.
So another Darien defensive face-off look here. 7:46 left to go in the second. That face-off's going to be won by the Blue Wave. Trying to get a spark back that they had in the first period. Ridgefield taking control of the offensive puck for most of the second period. Back out over to the middle. Ridgefield will dump that one in. Puck now in the hands, just missing George Persinger. Ridgefield with it, Pereira. Back again with the sole possession of the puck. Samame with it. Back over to Rigby on the defense. Has some nice defensive shots, just missing the open likes of Ryan Carnicelli. Ridgefield still with it. Final seconds left to go in their power play. Cornicelli out in front, laying his body out as Persinger making a huge stop. As the Blue Wave will tick down the final seconds, back to 5-on-5 even strength.
Darien able to kill that power play opportunity. You know, thankfully enough, they're able to get back to even strength, and now they just got to focus on, you know, playing at even strength. They got to stop taking those lazy penalties, those sloppy penalties, because if they play at even strength, we saw during the first period, they can be dominant and they can put up a lot of goals here.
So another face-off coming up. Blue Wave in their offensive possession look. That one's going to be won by the Tigers. They've controlled the face-offs throughout this second period. Back out over to the front. Tigers with Sparks over near the Darien Wave bench. Ridgefield player is going to go down to the ice. It looks like maybe a delayed penalty coming up. The refs are just going to blow the whistle on that one, so still even strength. 6:37 left to go in the second.
And it feels like the Wave has been on the kill this entire period, so they haven't really gotten anything started on offense, Liam, but with 6 minutes left, let's see what they can get going. Let's see if they can get a forecheck and maybe start something up here.
So the Blue Wave needs some offensive looks. They haven't had many shots onto Sproli throughout the second period. They have to apply that pressure and try to, you know, turn the tables in this second period, because right now it's going mostly in the hands of the Tigers, and Darien is just swimming in all the penalty kills. Puck back out over behind the net of Sproli. Still looking for it, Mariska. Sends this one all the way. Huge hit over near the Darien bench. Ridgefield player going down to the ice. Number 13, Pierce Graber. Graber sends a shot, stopped up by Wadley. Back out over to Elders. Kilroy looking for the stick of James Troy. Ridgefield will regain possession on that one. Mariska going down to the ice. Tigers will get this one. Darien making a line shift. Shot there by James Troy. That one's going to be stopped up by Sproli. Looking for another shot as the Blue Wave again stopped up by the Ridgefield D. Getting some energy back over in the fan sections. Darien now with the puck. Persinger sends this one back over behind the net of Andrew Sproli.
Great shift right there from Troy. He got the tip on net and a shot, and that got some momentum back from the Wave.
Ridgefield, fiery slap shot just going above the net of Kreppen. Had the open look and Ridgefield took it. Ridgefield's going to try to reel this one back, and Darien's going to be forced to go on the defense once more. Persinger with it. Gets held down to the ice, no call. Ridgefield now back looking for a center. Big hit there from Persinger. Ridgefield player going down to the ice once more. Lancaster looking on the scrum. Ridgefield with it back out in front now to Russell Tarrant. Tarrant with it, sends it over to McNamara. McNamara out in front, resetting for the Wave. Trying to get that one to Elliot Lancaster, but Ridgefield's going to get that one. Huge hit over on the far side. McNamara and Ridgefield players still down in the ice. No call from the refs letting them play on. Lancaster going down. Huge physicality the past 2 minutes.
It looks like William Britton for Ridgefield was trying to hold McNamara down there, trying to draw a penalty, because McNamara was trying to get up, and he was just being dragged down to the ice there substantially.
Another big hit, Ridgefield. Keeping it alive in the offense. Both teams in need of a stoppage. Back out over behind the net of Kreppen. Darien playing much more aggressive than the past couple minutes in this period. Big hit there from McNamara. Ely with it. Sends it over to Niffen. Going to be dumping that one in. Carnicelli and Pereira. Couldn't get a shot on it. That one's going to be sent all the way, and that one will go for an icing.
You can see Ridgefield trying to throw Darien off their game, trying to get in the head of these Darien players. You know, they're trying to, play scrappy, get these Darien guys to bite and take penalties. And really, that's cost Darien this period. As we saw down there, Mark McNamara gets tangled up. They're trying to draw another penalty on Darien. Darien needs to stop feeding into these shenanigans and start just playing their hockey.
So face-off one there by Ridgefield. Darien's going to chase this one. Mariska and Elders looking for a transition on that one. Puck over to Mariska. Back out in front looking for a tip on it was Troy. Couldn't get that, and that one's going to be chased all the way. Wadley's now going to try to get that one. Ridgefield now with the open puck look. Back out in front. Puck near the likes of Kreppen. Ridgefield looking for a one-timer out in front. That one's going to be stopped up. Darien with it once again. Elders still looking for it over on the far side with number 21, John Wadley. So Darien's going to reset, try to make a play out of this. Kilroy sends it over to Ridgefield, still keeping it alive. This Ridgefield team still looking like a completely different team during this second period than they were in the first.
Yeah, this period's been dominant for Ridgefield. Maybe Darien can get something going on this transition look, however.
Schwinn now with the look. McNamara getting out of the way. Shot from Schwinn, and he's got his second. Darien leads 2-1.
And Schwinn going to get the selfie celebration. That was in the Minnesota tournament, but let's see some analysis here from up here in the broadcast booth. We see Schwinn get his signature toe drag release towards the middle of the ice, using that defenseman as a screen. That's Schwinn's favorite move. He uses it every game, and right there he gets that shot off, toe drag towards the middle of the ice. Again, using that defenseman as a screen, and he puts it top shelf for the Wave.
Charlie Schwinn, top shelf. A lot of physicality the past couple minutes, and Darien had a nice penalty kill as well, and they add a huge goal in this second period to best Ridgefield 2-1 in the second period.
Yeah, that selfie celebration, the selfie stick, caught me off guard there, but great analysis there from Liam and myself, and the Wave are up 2-1 in this contest.
So a lot of energy. Both teams were just trying to grab it, very neutral physicality-wise, but again, Schwinn, none other than Charlie Schwinn, has done well at Terry Connors this year. Adds a second one to his resume. Puck back over behind the net of Kreppen. Back over to Persinger. Sends this one all the way over to Ryan Thurlow. Gets a little shot on it. That one just missing the net of Sproley. Puck now back over to Niffen. Goes down on the boards. That one's going to be sent all the way, and icing will be called. Minute and 35 left to go in period number 2.
Like you said, Liam, Charlie Schwinn's been electric in these Terry Connors games. He had a Michigan goal here earlier this year, and he's had multiple big, point nights at this rink, and just something interesting, we're following this pattern of Schwinn just showing out in these big games.
Yeah, Schwinn definitely the prime player for this Blue Wave. 2 goals in this one. Darien's only 2 goals. Puck now won by the Blue Wave over on the face-off side. Ridgefield now with it. Gonna try to send this one all the way through the boards. Back again with the Tigers. Gonna dump this one in all the way. Niffen with it over on the far side behind the net of Kreppen. Down reset. Of course, you're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. William Tomaszewski and Will Jennings. So glad to be here live from Terry Connors between the number 4 seed and number 5 seed teams in the CIAC Division I quarterfinal matchup. The referees will blow the whistle on that one. 54 seconds left to go in the second. Both teams got a stoppage.
And that's that goal right there, Liam, that's a perfect example of Darien just playing even strength hockey. They stop retaliating. They stop taking, bad penalties as a result of just anger and frustration, and they are able to score when these two teams are at 5v5.
Face-off one there by the Tigers. They're going to dump that one over behind the net of Kreppen. Darien defense still needs to hold strong, but that Ridgefield attack can practically do anything when they have the shots. Back out over McNamara, uses the boards to his advantage. That one's going to be stopped up. A little misread there by Darien, but Persinger will get the likes of that one. Again, back at it over to the far side. Darien with Schwind. hit out in front. McNamara with the shot, just missing the net of Sproley. Darien still keeping it in the offense. Shot there from Schwind, just stopped up by Sproley. Now Persinger with it. That one's going off the blocker of Sproley and goes out of play into the mesh.
And look at the pressure there from the Wave. They got at least 5 different looks from up top. You saw Persinger get a shot. The trailer, Mark McNamara, gets a shot. And they're really just, getting back to the basics of just working together. They're slowing down their play and getting everybody involved, and that's what you like to see from the Wave as they get an offensive face-off here.
So another face-off coming up. Darien's offense looking strong. 7.5 seconds left to go. Shot there from Schwind, stopped up by Sproley. Ridgefield's going to just send that one all the way to the boards, and we're going to the second intermission. Darien leading 2-1 against the Tigers.
And that's a great turnaround, a great response from the Wave. If we're being blatantly honest, not a great period from the Wave, until that 6-minute mark where they shifted things. They started playing as a team and playing for one another, playing for their seniors. And you see how they're able to, play together when they keep themselves out of the box. They're really getting everybody involved. And it was a great, latter half of that period, and definitely gets the momentum back for this team going into the third.
So the Blue Wave lead 2-1 going into the second intermission. And we'll be right back here on the DAF Media Network.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcast
And back here live on the DAF Media Network. 30 minutes down, 50 minutes ago. Of course, looking at those replays from those goals. 2 from Charlie Schwind for the Blue Wave, and then, of course, the goal from McNicholas for the Tigers. So, Will, I mean, only a 1-goal lead for the Blue Wave is not too much of a margin, but they hold on strong and get those offensive transitions. They're going to be punching the ticket to the state semifinals.
Yeah, that period was really dominated by Ridgefield. And, you know, it was mostly man down for the Wave, but Charlie Schwind really saves the momentum there, and they have a lot of energy to work off of this period.
So both these teams switching their respective sides for the third period. Face-off's going to be won there by the Tigers. They're going to send this one all the way to the other end of the ice. McNamara now with the puck, back over near the net of Crepin. Ridgefield looking for an offensive look. Back out over through the middle. Looking for it, Schwind. Going to send this one all the way. Sproley going out of his own net. Intercepted there by the Wave, just missing it over near their own bench. Tarrant making a nice dump out, but staying in there with Carnicelli. Back over to Pereira. Ridgefield still looking for it on their own blue line. Huge hit over on the far side on the near boards. Lancaster now with the puck circling around over with Schwind. Lancaster moving this puck around nicely. Gets hit over on the far side. Ridgefield will intercept that one over near the net of Spruley. We'll reset it. And that one's going to go all the way for an icing.
And if Darien can just keep this pressure on the forecheck, we saw a lot of icings from Ridgefield in the first period, so if they're able to sustain this pressure on the forecheck and keep that puck in the zone, they could be good.
Trying to get a shot on that one. Troy's going to bat that one down with his hands. Big hit over by Elders on the far side. Puck now back over near the Tigers' side. Kilroy now with it. Sends this one back over to Aiden Chang. Back over near the center ice red line. Mariska with it near the Darien bench. Going to dump it in, looking for Troy. Heavy defense there by the Tigers, so they'll get that one. Back over to Connor McNamara. Troy now with it near the Darien blue line. Circles this one, centering it back out in front, looking for Gardner Ely. No shot there. That one just missing the net of Sproley. And that one's going to be called for an offsides by Michael Niffen. 13 minutes exactly left to go in this state quarterfinal matchup. The 4 and 5 seeds, always a good one in any tournament.
And, you know, I really like how Darien has played that neutral zone today. They really have stopped Ridgefield's attack in that neutral zone and, you know, have been able to sustain pressure because of it.
So Ridgefield's going to look for Wadley with the big hit. They're going to dump that one in all the way. Weibel trying to hold on to it. Ely going on in, hit over on the far side. Back out in front, Darien looking for a shot with Samame. Can't do so. That one's going to be stopped up. Ridgefield, Darien with the interception. Niffen tried to get a shot on it, stopped up by the Tigers. Weibel with a nice move on the defense. Still moving this one back around. Puck now back over to the Wave. Circling it back over on defense with Wadley. Over to Elliott Lancaster off of his own skate. Schwind with the give and go. Hit over with Chang over near the Ridgefield goal. Still trying to move this one around is Wadley. And that one's going to be stopped up. Looks like a loose neck guard out in the ice.
Yeah, and Darien lucky to not get called for that interference in front of the net. We saw Mark McNamara take out the defenseman. He didn't have the puck there, so Darien thankfully escapes that power play situation. The refs just weren't able to catch that one.
So puck back out over to McNamara. Moves this one along over near the center ice line. Darien's going to try to look for it over near the far side. And that one's going to be stopped up by the referees for an icing. So another face-off coming up. Darien in their own offensive zone. McNamara with a shot, pokes that one. That one goes up into the mesh and out of play.
And if Darien can just keep this puck in the zone with their defensemen, you know, they're going to be in business for this third period of play. And that's really been the key for them this game, just keeping that puck in the offensive zone, using their defensemen at the point.
So face-off one there by the Blue Wave. Back out over with Tarrant, looking for a shot, stopped up by Sproley. Darien still keeping it alive with a nice rebound off the boards. Persinger gets a little tip shot at it, trying to get it back over with McNamara, but couldn't do so out in front. Lancaster now with the puck. Circles that one around. That one's going to be tipped up by Ridgefield. Persinger's going to circle around one-on-one with Kreppen, stopped up out in front of the net and makes a huge diving stop to blow off that play. It was Ryan McNicholas with the breakaway.
Yeah, Lancaster had that cycle option towards the corner, and unfortunately, you know, he tries to get the D-man involved, and it's, you know, he's not able to see that forward at the point who intercepts the pass. But it was a good idea from Lancaster to get that defenseman involved. Just didn't see that forward at the point who intercepted it, took it the other way. McNicholas almost able to capitalize there on the takeaway.
Another face-off one there by the Tigers. Shot, glove save by Kreppen. And that was all the way near the blue line. Saved up by Ridgefield's number 19, Mason Blockle. So face-off one there by the Blue Wave. Still trying to circle this one around are the Tigers. Back out over to the front. Elders looking for the loose puck, sends that one over to Kilroy. Over on the boards. Darien still trying to look on set. Connor McNamara. Back over to the Tigers side. Once again, Ridgefield looking for an open shot. Shot there from number 23, Sean Rigby, and another amazing glove save by Quinn Kreppen.
Yeah, we've seen Rigby get a ton of shots on Kreppen today. He's got an absolute cannon from the point. A very big shot from Rigby there, and there was no screen in front, so Kreppen able to get the glove on it for the save. But Rigby really big contributing for this Ridgefield team.
So face-off one there by the Tigers. They're going to look out in front, gets a little shot on it, stopped up by the knee pads of Quinn Kreppen. The shot there again from Ryan McNicholas. Chasing this one down is Lancaster. Shaves some ice on that one with the huge stop. 10 minutes left to go in this game. Back out in front, Lancaster was looking for a shot. Persinger will keep it alive for the Wave.
Great forecheck there from Mark McNamara as he gets the takeaway, and it leads to more possession for the Wave.
Puck now back over with Schwind over on the center ice line. They're going to dump this one all the way, still trying to chase it down behind the net of Sproley. That one's going to be intercepted out in front. Darien will make a quick line change as Ridgefield will be forced to reset this over behind their own net. Darien still applying that heavy pressure on the offense. Tarrant with it, dumps this one all the way in. Blue Wave third line out there with Ely and Ryan Thurlow as well. The Blue Wave send this one. Still trying to move it around, dumped in there by Rigby. Back over to Thurlow. Both these teams just playing neutral hockey, not getting too many shots on each other. Rigby using this for the Tigers. Try to move this one along. Niffen gets hit over on the far board side.
Yeah, looked like a trip there, but
huge hit there by Elders going into the boards. Rigby doing well on the Ridgefield defense. Carnicelli looking for a shot, stopped up there by Wadley. Ridgefield keeping it alive though with getting that up in the air. Once again, Wadley is going to chase this one all the way. Moving this one along, gets hit. Ridgefield player going down to the boards. Mariska now out there for the Wave in prime offensive territory. Back out over the Elders. Troy still trying to look along. Shot there from Kilroy and a glove save from Sproley.
And I'm noticing, Liam, you know, the way that Darien has been playing offensively, they've had a ton of pressure on the forecheck. They've done a great job of keeping it in on the blue line and sustaining possession, but the only times that Ridgefield is able to get really good looks is when the Wave make mistakes. So the Wave just have to be conservative and make sure that, you know, they're not too aggressive on the blue line.
Yeah, the Blue Wave cannot go and force Ridgefield onto another power play. It's been one of their faults this game. Darien's going to get that one with Schwind. Lone control of the isolation. That one's going to be sent all the way up into the stands.
Darien, like we just said, if they're able to, you know, maintain their pinches at the blue line and not play too aggressive, maybe have one defenseman back at the red line, one up and play, you know, they can really take control of this game with just 7 minutes left.
So 7:55 left to go in the third. Offensive face-off coming up. That one's going to be won by Ridgefield, however. Still trying to look for it, just missing the open skate of George Persinger. Schwinn's going to use the board on that one over to Rigby. Back over once again to the defensive side of Blockle. Schwind with it alone with the puck. Gets a shot on it, but a huge save there from Sproley. Of course, Charlie Schwind, 2 goals today for the Wave. Gets another shot on net, but Sproley ready for that one. That one just a little low and made that easy glove and pad save. The Tigers going to move this one along. Luke Pereira now with the puck. Tarrant making some nice moves on the defense. Looking for a clear over near Crepin.
Yeah, and this Pereira, you know, Carnicelli line really needs to get something going for Ridgefield. Just 7 minutes left on the clock here.
Yeah, 7:13 left to go in the third. Ridgefield well in this game. Darien just has to keep going. Mariska now with the puck. Elders going down to the ice. A miscue there from Sproley, and Mariska has it. It makes Darien go up by 2.
And Mariska just, you know, trying to dump it in there for the Wave, trying to get another good forecheck on that play there. Mariska just dumps it in right on net. And that's just a miscue from the goalie, a miscommunication. He's not able to get that glove up and glove that down for a faceoff. Mariska gets the miscue goal there on the failed attempt from the Ridgefield Tigers, and that's a 3-1 game with just 7 minutes left.
So a miscue there from the glove save by Sproley, and adds one for the Blue Wave. Jack Mariska, of course, was missing in action in that game against Ridgefield in the FCIAC semifinals, but his presence is back out in the ice and adds Darien back onto the scoreboard. Another face-off one there by the Tigers, and you can feel the energy on the Darien sides. They just have to hold Ridgefield for another 6:52.
And that's just heartbreaking for this Ridgefield team, as, you know, really not the best goal, just a failed attempt between the pipes. And Darien with a 2-goal lead, just 6 minutes left. They could really run away with this one, and possibly that Mariska goal could be the dagger.
Mariska, of course, one of the best skaters in the Division I CIAC, and he just adds one right there, of course, to his name. He's had a fantastic season and adds a huge goal there. So Lancaster will get a little shot on it, and that one's going to be stopped up by Spruley's glove. But again, Mariska voted one of the best skaters in Division I hockey for this year, and of course he's only a sophomore, so still plenty of time to develop his skills and become really a prime player in all of the state.
Yeah, nominated for Skater of the Year this year, and with good reason. You know, it was definitely in between Schwind and Mariska, their 2 premier players, but of course Mariska gets that nomination, and he's shown it today with his speed and, you know, ability in the open ice.
Yeah, I mean, that right there, that nomination up there with some of the best skaters in Division I. I mean, Doster Kroll, James Mascari, just a few, and those are just some of the top players in the state. The Blue Wave will try to get some offensive looks at it. Ridgefield now with it, trying to get some energy after the Mariska goal. Back over to Persinger. Blue Wave's going to try to get it on the defense. Tarrant now. Ridgefield looking for an interception, but this one's still going to go with the Wave. 3-on-1 opportunity on the transition. Thurlow out in front. Couldn't seem to get an open player down on the ice. Ridgefield's still going to move, dump it in all the way. That one's going to go all the way to the boards. Tarrant now with it over to Connor McNamara. Mariska with it, skating well. Sending that one all the way over through the boards. Tarrant will try to bring it down. Carnicelli applying the pressure for Ridgefield. So again, back over Mariska out in front, goes down to the ice.
I mean, I don't know how you missed that one. That's a clear trip, and they do call it. Oh, maybe the net's
Looks
off.
like the net is going to be loose. Mariska went into the pipes, but
I mean, he had a breakaway there, and he had 2 steps in front of his defender. He gets tripped up. You know, at this point in the game, I don't think the Wave necessarily need that call, but would be nice to have to, get on the power play and possibly end this game.
Well, the Blue Wave, again, playing completely different than they did when they played Ridgefield in the FCIAC semifinals and really gelling well together, all their guys back. And, of course, just making those quality shots. 3 goals, 2 from Schwind, 1 from Mariska, anchoring those 2 top lines for both these teams.
And it's the blade. The blade is off of his skate, so he has to get to the bench, and there's a goalie change. We see the freshman Britton come in, who we saw during the regular season, and it looks like the blade of number 1, Andrew Sproley, did come off of his skate, so they do have to make that substitution.
So Britton will go in the game. James Britton, freshman goalie for the Tigers, will go in. Trying to get an equipment malfunction over near the Ridgefield bench, but just above 5 minutes left to go. In this game, you're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation, between Tom Mazewski and Will Jennings. So glad to be here live inside Terry Connors between the Blue Wave and the Tigers in the CIAC Division I quarterfinal matchup. Back out in front, Darien getting a little tap at it. Stopped up there by Britton early. Once again getting set. Ridgefield looking for it out in front. Puck now back over to Lancaster, still moving along as Schwind. Trying to send that one out in front to McNamara, but that one's going to be stopped up by the Tigers. That one's going to be sent all the way. McNamara is going to touch that one, so no icing will be called.
Down 2 goals. Down 2 goals here, Liam. You think they're probably going to pull the goalie soon.
Back out in front, Ridgefield looking for a shot. Stopped up there nicely by McNamara. There's a shot there from Ryan McNicholas. That one's going to be sent all the way for an icing. And, like you said, Ridgefield definitely going to be thinking about pulling the goalie. Not just yet. There's still some time left on the clock, but once you hit those 2-minute marks, it's definitely very a possibility.
I mean, with 2 goals, the 2-goal deficit, could be a little bit sooner. Could be around that 3-minute, 3:30 mark, because, they need a quick spark plug. They need to get, create their own power play if they're not able to draw a penalty and get 6 on the ice here.
Face off one there by Ridgefield. Face off one there by Darien. Wadley with the puck. Ridgefield looking for, try to get it loose out in front. Intercepted nicely by Persinger. He's still going to move this one along with Mariska. Huge hit there over on the far side by Ridgefield. No call. Another hit onto Persinger.
That's the Defenseman of the Year nominee, George Persinger, and he shows his rush ability, drawing 2, good looks for the Wave there. He's been doing it all year, using his legs. Very quick, speedy, smaller guy for the Wave.
Another speed threat for the Wave, Persinger. Samame's going to dump this one in. Britton out of his crease. Back out in front, looking for a shot is Ely. Just missing the net of Britton. Back out in front, Darien still keeping offensive looks alive. Ely back over to Tarrant. Gonna dump this one all the way in. Britton will make a save off of his stick. So Ely with it with the Wave. 3 minutes left to go in regulation. Back out in front, looking for a shot at it was Thurlow. Couldn't get one. Samame now with control of the puck. Hit there by number 7, Jack Kirshner.
Yeah, the Wave this game, just watching this possession, they've really been out-skating the Tigers, using their speed. And the Tigers, at the end of this game here, they look really fatigued. The Wave have just been, able to outskate them and use their speed today and really control possession for most of this game.
So McNamara will still move this one along, sending this one all the way through the boards. Puck now back over to Niffen. Niffen with it over now to McNamara over near the Ridgefield bench. Ridgefield still looking for that opportunity, maybe to pull the goalie, and they will. Britton's going to head over to the bench. Tigers are going to add a skater on. Puck going over behind the net of Kreppen. That was a close call. Darien defense doing a nice job on that one. The Ridgefield just has to keep it going. Can't let Darien get any long shots. And that one's going to go out of play.
All Darien needs here is one turnover, one takeaway. Get a guy like Mariska or Schwinn moving up ice with speed, and this game is over. All Darien needs to do is just get a pass breakup, a deflection, get it out to center ice, and let their speedy guys take care of this game. You hear the student section there telling Ridgefield to prepare their buses as there's just 2 minutes left here.
So 2 minutes exactly on the clock in the CIAC Division I quarterfinals. Huge year for the Wave. They didn't make it to the FCIAC championship, but still trying to make a big run in states. Back out over in front. Darien trying to win that face-off. Britton still out with the empty net. Back out over in front, stopped up there by Kreppen. Ridgefield still on it with the extra skater. Back out over with Rigby. Looking for a shot. That one's going to be stopped up with the screen out in front with Persinger, and that one will fly out of play.
Now we see that Schwinn, McNamara, and Lancaster line on the ice here. They can really end this game. They've been playing great defensively. They can just get a turnover and get that puck to Schwinn. He can use his speed and just ice this game for the Wave.
Well, the Blue Wave left it all last year, of course, at Martyri Arena, losing to New Canaan in that CIAC Division I quarterfinal matchup. They're still trying to get a shot there. Ridgefield stopped up by Kreppen in a huge spot with 90 seconds left to go.
Luke Pereira and George Persinger getting into an all-out brawl now. Looks like Mark McNamara was there to assist his friend Persinger. And now they're throwing, looks like they threw a couple of hooks. So this is just getting messy in front of the net, Liam. It's 1 minute and 30 left. Darien's got to control.
Pereira had that hat trick, of course, against Darien. And that FCIAC semifinals.
Persinger will go to the box here, but his teammates love it as he's, not going to be messed with. He's hyping up the section now. The little guy, Persinger, not going to be messed with. He's not going to tolerate his goalie being pushed around, and he goes to the bench, but his teammates quite happy.
Wave puck is strong in Terry Connors today. The fans and the players have all brought it. Looking to advance to the state semis coming up this week.
And it looks like we have Pereira going to the box as well for a matching penalty. Just like the NHL, we don't have 5-minute majors for fighting, but high school hockey, it looks like they're going to match them up here.
So it's going to be just cross-eliminating penalties, so they're going to cancel out. So both these teams still with even strength, still an empty net over on the far side of the ice. Britton is on the bench, so Ridgefield will still be up on the man-up advantage.
And we saw Ridgefield last game wave goodbye to the student section, and now this game, Darien chanting bye-bye seniors to that Ridgefield team as this game is pretty much over.
Darien very much in a prime position here at Terry Connors. Ridgefield, though, still has seconds left to go. Try to get some shots on it. Darien looking for the final icing on the cake. McNamara sends it. Huge stop up there by Ridgefield. So no empty net goal there from the Wave. Very close, just feet away. Well, Ridgefield still moving this one along as the referees blow the whistle and stop up that play. Still getting some anger going. McNamara is going to get a check at it.
And Rena wants nothing to do with that. You see the 6'7" Mark McNamara try and take on Anthony Rena. Looks like Rena wants a piece of Schwinn. As we said, Liam, all game long, these two teams hate each other flat out. No friends on the ice here today. And Darien showing that you know, after last game, they were waved goodbye by Pereira. They're not going to take that this game.
So there are 3 guys in the Darien penalty box right now. Mark McNamara, Charlie Schwinn, George Persinger. Any other physicality penalties, they're not going to be able to fit another player in that penalty box. But, I mean, still a minute and 4 seconds left to go, and Ridgefield's just trying to get some last looks at it and, you know, maybe just try to keep their season live going for another minute. But, you know, right now it's all Darien. They can feel it. This student section living strong, and again, they're going to get a face-off coming up, of course, in Ridgefield's offensive zone, but right now Darien's liking what they're seeing. And you know, when you have guys like Mark and Connor McNamara on your team, you know you're set, of course, with the height and physicality as well. Having 2 guys like that in the Darien roster adds a lot.
And it definitely feels like this game, a little bit of karma, as we saw Ridgefield come to Darien's house last time. They really, you know, with those last couple goals, they really, you know, let it rain with the celebrations, and now Darien returning the favor. They're celebrating on this Ridgefield team.
A new FCIAC rivalry, I think, being born this year. Ridgefield and Darien, and it looks like trying to figure out the face-off possession spot, but
6 on 4 here for the Tigers, so you never know.
6 on 4, still a minute left to go. Ridgefield with the slap shot. That one's just going to go out of play. And again, Britton has not been in the net past 2 minutes. But again, both these teams still looking on strong, but Darien definitely feeling the energy on their side. But I don't know, Terry Connors right now hopping with wave puck.
And this handshake line not going to be pretty. As you can see, they're running time here.
Another big hit over on the far side. Ridgefield looking for a shot. Just missing the net of Crepin. Moving along, McNamara. Ridgefield still with control of the puck. All they have to do is play keep away from the wave. Mariska with it off the stick of Elders.
Great block of the passing lane by Elders.
So Elders and Ridgefield player going down the ice. Ridgefield just holding on to it, looking for a shot is Rigby, really close. That one's gonna be stopped up by Crepin nicely.
And I can't emphasize it enough. Great period from Quinn Crepin. Probably haven't talked about him enough. He's made a ton of key saves in this 3rd period.
Yeah, Crepin has definitely been, you know, Ridgefield, the offense, they've made the shots throughout this game, but Crepin, of course, has kept Darien in it, of course, with the 2-goal lead. And, you know, he gave up one early on to McNicholas, but other than that, he's had a really strong night behind the pipes.
Crepin has been the anchor for this Darien team. He's been fighting through screens all night, fighting through a lot of tough shots from the point, and it looks like Darien gonna run away with this one 3-1, so great performance from Crepin.
So it's gonna be a timeout taken by the Tigers. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. Back here live on the DAF Media Network. So Ridgefield took the timeout, icing this game. 16 seconds left to go in regulation, and Darien, all they need, just one last face-off. Face-off won there by the Tigers. Still trying to move this one along. Tarrant now with the puck. Final seconds out in front. Ridgefield looking for a shot. Hit there over on the far side, and that puck's going to go away. And Darien's going to the state semifinals.
Darien with the huge victory, a revenge game for their team as they gather around Crepin. Rigby getting into it with Mark McNamara now. Schwind in the mix. A lot of different things going on in this game. But Darien gets the revenge game. They're waving to the section, and they go to their own section now. What a win for this Darien team.
Probably the best game all year for Wave Puck, and they bring it here at Terry Connors. What a win for the men in blue.
Of course, this game pretty bittersweet for the two of us, Liam. It's been a great season of hockey. I've, enjoyed my time up here with you calling these games. This is our last game senior year at Darien High School, and it's been a great season for us.
We started it here, me and you, against that Stamford West Hill, and ending it here, Ridgefield and Darien. What a game from these two teams. And Will, it's been a pleasure calling these Wave Puck games, both boys and girls alike, but what a year. I mean, I know me and you will both get some lacrosse action in the spring, but for Blue Wave hockey, it's been a really good season.
And what a great game to end it with. I mean, Darien gets their revenge in a heated rivalry game where, things weren't looking up. They lost 6-2 to this team last time they played, and they get the revenge here today. Great physicality from the Wave, great forecheck, and they just played as a team today. They played for their seniors, and they're able to advance to the next round.
Yeah, Wave Puck brought it today. Head coach Mac Budd. They're going to be playing the winner of New Canaan and Greenwich, which will be going on right after the conclusion of this game once they cut the ice. But Will, 3-1 your final score in favor of Darien. Of course, we've been watching this game on the DAF Media Network. I want to give a shout out to our DAF Media crew, bringing you all the sights and sounds. And this one doing a great job for our last winter broadcast. Jack Kinney, Ryan Dahlquist, Luke Zerby, Eric Bellingham. Of course, everyone doing a great job today. Of course, our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, and Bruce Ferguson, doing a great job today. Will, it's been a pleasure calling Wave Puck games with you. It's been an amazing season. I know being an analyst, a lot of fun doing these games, and what a way to see Darien come off with a win and advance in this state tournament.
It's been an absolute ball and a great game to end it with, and it's just going to be fun to watch this Darien team and the rest of this CIAC playoffs, as their next game will be it will be played at Quinnipiac. And Darien, a lot of good things to, reflect on and, improve on for next game.
Yeah, Quinnipiac hosts. They won the NCAA tournament, so huge for Connecticut hockey as well. But I'm in Liam Tomaszewski watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Our last winter broadcast. We'll see you back out in DHS Stadium Field for lacrosse in a couple weeks, but that'll do it here on this Saturday in March. See you next time.